Hi, guys. Welcome to a beautiful jungle. I am Sharon. I'm gardening in Zone 8A. For those who are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. So, what I'm doing here today, I transplanted my zucchini starts into the into one of my 8x4 wooden beds, and I put all of them in there. I think I had like 6 or 8 zucchini plants. So I had to take them out because zucchini plants, and I should have known better because last year they were really big, and they need space. They absolutely need space. But it was a let me just put these in here because I kept getting sick or something kept happening or kept raining, and it just time just got away from me, right? So they started growing. They started growing like zucchinis do, and then I had to transplant them. And it was like we got to get it done. We have to get it done. So this is the day we did it. And talking about rain, it rained that same day too. The rain was it was on and off, and so I said I'm gonna put on my yellow dress and see if that helps. The rain makes the sun want to come out because I have my yellow dress on, and the rain stayed away for a while, but it absolutely came down. So what I'm doing here is tomato cage, and please comment, please comment if you too do not use your tomato cage for tomatoes. I bought these from Dollar General with the intentions of using it last year on my tomato cage, on my tomato plants, and I did. But I quickly learned that no, especially for indeterminate tomato plants, it does not work. So I ended up using them for my zucchini and my yellow squash and all of those things. Even my peppers, they're good for pepper plants also because pepper plants really don't get that big. So, and I have the green garden stakes. I think those are either the 3 or 4, um, 3 or 4 foot or something like that. Though those are the short ones. Those are the ones that we removed and then put in the taller one, the 72 inches, the taller one for our tomatoes. So what I did was weave it in and out of the bars and stuck it down in the ground. And what I am going to do is eventually I'm going to come back and put one of those. You see the ground covering that we used the staples on when you came with me to see my uh, watermelon, when I did my watermelon patch. So I'm gonna take those staples and hold it down to keep it a lot more firm, sturdy. So now I need to remove those Brussels sprouts, and that clippers was not working. I should have got my bigger one, but it was not working. I was trying my best to get that out. That thing was rooted. Ooh, rooted. That's a good roots. Yes. My daughter Nevaeh was with me, helping me out in the garden that day. So I was grateful for the help. For the help. And that piece of brown leaf that flew up in the air, it scared me. I looked like I wasn't scared, but I was scared. I honestly thought it was a rat or something. There's a lot of lizards in my garden, so I thought it was something flying out at me. Yes, I was scared. So I'm gonna do the same thing over there. That's the bed, the 8x4 bed that had the zucchinis right at the end, and they were so close together. They were like a hand width apart. I would say like a length of, yeah, hand width apart. So now they have more space, and now I'm gonna put the tomato cage and do the same thing with the garden stakes and weave it through, push it down in the ground, and then eventually I will come and do um, the staples for the ground covering that I use for the ground covering. But I think I'm gonna extend my garden again. Like maybe I just keep extending and extending. I told my husband, I said, I think I'm gonna get two more beds, two more galvanized beds. And you're gonna see in a future video when we were talking about not planting sunflowers in our garden beds anymore. And I was gonna have him make like a planter box for them, and he made one, and it looks amazing. He's gonna make me one more, so he thinks. But as much as I love vegetables and planting things, I love planting flowers also. I'm thinking about painting them, but I kind of like the natural wood look also. But I know eventually that wood look is gonna. Then I could probably stain it. Yeah, I could stain them. Absolutely. So I'm doing this, but not with the tomato cages. My yellow squash, my straight neck, and my crook neck. I'm actually taking the garden stakes and pushing them down in the ground, and the same Velcro that I use for the tomato plants, I'm using to tie those up to the garden stake. So, and after I'm finished, it looks so good. Now we're moving over to the me and my yellow dress. We're moving over to the tomato plants because those tomato plants, I'm sure you can see, they're leaning like my green stalk was. They're leaning. So I need to stand them up or else they're going to break because the tomatoes on there are gorgeous. They are gorgeous and big and beautiful. And we do not want to lose our tomatoes. So I'm weeding as I go. I have to. It's not that much weeding that needs to get done. I have that board there because the ground cover kind of stretched out, and it has like a really big gap there. So, and if you can see where my left foot is, that's where one ground covering meets another ground covering, and we have a space in between there. So I need to put one over there, weed that out, and put another one over it. Yeah, you can see the red clay. So I'm going to get on the ground right there. They have the wooden stakes right there. Those I got from Dollar General as well, and I think they were a dollar. Yeah, they were a dollar. They were a dollar a piece, and I got them last year. So I got the garden stakes, thinking that that would be suffice, would do the job. But I quickly learned that nope, those things right on the ground is what I needed. Yeah, I figured that. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. So I just got in and got my hammer. I took those out of the. I took some of those out of the. I had them in the. Oh, let me see, the pepper beds that's in the front. But my peppers are so small. Ugh, I don't know why they're so small. We shall find out. But anyway, I'm hitting those in there. And what I did is put one on each side, and then I'm going to I have twine, and I'm going to tie the twine around and do like a there goes the twine, like a Florida weave type of thing. I tried doing Florida weave with my tomato plants, but the way I planted my tomato plants, it wasn't done with the intention of, yes, I'm going to do Florida weave for my plants. I learned about Florida weave after I planted my tomato plants. So next year, I'm going to do it with the intention of doing the Florida weave on my tomato plants because apparently I like growing indeterminate tomatoes. For some reason, look at those tomatoes. They are gorgeous, big and gorgeous. I didn't even know they were there because it's so leafy on there. It's big and it was leaning over. So I thought I only had two plants that were leaning over. Turns out it was actually three plants that were leaning over. Oh, and if you see, I flipped my hammer to the flat side. My father, I don't know, I heard my father say, honey, turn the hammer the other way. So, your father's in your head telling you to turn the hammer the other way. It might have been a lesson that he taught me before, something he told me to do before and it just came back to me or he whispered it to me. But I just heard him in my head saying, honey, turn the hammer around. Turn it the flat way. So I did. But, and oh my goodness, look at those tomatoes. They are gorgeous. Gorgeous. They make me, I want to like pick one of those tomatoes. I'm wondering if you can do fried green tomatoes with just any tomatoes in this state, them being green. I've never done fried green tomatoes. My mom has. But I've never eaten fried green tomatoes before. Even at a restaurant, I've never eaten fried green tomatoes. I've never heard of fried green tomatoes until I moved down south, until I moved to Georgia. I'm pruning off my basil plants. So I was taking the flowering part off of it. We had just recently did this, but because of all the rain, they grew. So I'm taking the flowering part off of it and then I'm also pruning some down. And in the video that came out before this video was supposed to come out with the other video, but then I had to do a voiceover. So I am going to do like a quick harvest. Coming up after this, you'll see this basil I dehydrated for my mom, the one I harvest. So I went over to my bed that has the carrots, the second sowing, and the one that I did not thin out, and I harvest some carrots also from there that I washed, and I washed them and I put them inside of one of those reusable freezer bags and put dry, make sure they're completely dry, and wrap them in paper towel and put them in my refrigerator. And I've been using them, and I have been using them. Yes, those are the carrots. So I just want to say thank you for coming along with me. Please like and subscribe, and I pray you have a blessed day. Thank you so much.